Let's go to the second section, and in this section we will talk about the nasopharyngeal cancer. And about the nasopharyngeal cancer, the topics which we will discuss in this section will be the mainly etiology of the nasopharyngeal cancer. What are the different causes that can lead to the nasopharyngeal cancer? What's the pathology? What's the abnormality in the nasopharyngeal cancer? How it is formed or developed, and then how the nasopharyngeal cancer can spread, or what are the different factors that can lead to the metastasis of the nasopharyngeal cancer. So if we look again the site, this is the nasopharyngeal area. So we have the nasopharynx, and that's the cancer of the nasopharynx, and this is the sinus. Then we have the tongue, that's the tongue, and this is the nasal cavity. So again, the location of the nasopharyngeal cancer, if you remember the last section, when we talk about the benign tumor, that was more like a small tumor, localized tumor in the nasopharynx. But if you see this nasopharyngeal cancer, it is bigger and it spreads to the different sites already. So this is the sinus, and then we have the tongue and the nasal cavity. The causes of the nasopharyngeal cancer might be the genetic causes that lead to the nasopharyngeal cancer. There may be viral causes also, viral infection. The Epstein-Barr virus, EB virus, can cause nasopharyngeal cancer also. So genetic, it might be in the genes because it can be congenital or genetic nasopharyngeal cancer, or the virus Epstein-Barr virus. Or there may be some environmental factors, some carcinogens present in the environment, dust, inhalants, different, even sometimes the smoke, dust. All these are the different factors that can be in the environment that can lead to nasopharyngeal cancer. So these are the three very important etiological factors leading to the nasopharyngeal cancer. Grossly, it presents in three forms. We have proliferative form, ulcerative, and infiltrative. So nasopharyngeal cancer can be the proliferative. It proliferate and it multiply and spread by proliferation. Or it becomes ulcerative, and then it can it present in that form with the ulcer formation, and then infiltrate when it penetrates into the deep surrounding structure. So three types are present here. Again, you can see the tumor, the cancer getting bigger and spreading to the eyes, and then we have the cheek, and then the cranial nerves. The nerves are behind, it is spreading to the cranial nerve also. So the infiltrative type, then we have proliferative, and then the ulcerative type of the nasopharyngeal cancer. The pathology of the nasopharyngeal cancer, first it is divided into two types. It's present WHO terminology about the pathology of nasopharyngeal cancer, or it's the former terminology which was used before. So the present terminology, the terminology that is used right now, and it's called the World Health Organization WHO terminology. It's divided into three types. Type 1, which is about 25%, it's called the keratinizing carcinoma. Type 2 is non-keratinizing differentiated carcinoma, and type 3, which is about 63%, is non-keratinizing undifferentiated carcinoma. So three types of the nasopharyngeal cancer, type 1, type 2, type 3. They depend on the pathological changes which are seen under the microscope by the examination, and what's the changes in different cells or in the tissues that can occur. Type 2 is more differentiated cells, so the diagnosis or prognosis is better in type 2, very good in type 1, and then it's poor in type 3 because now the undifferentiated carcinoma cells are present. So this is the staging or the pathology or the terminology used in these days, and it's called the WHO terminology. Previously, these the carcinomas are defined according to the squamous cell carcinoma, and what is the presence, what type of cells are present. It is classified on the basis of that, and then the classification was or terminology was transitional cell carcinoma, intermediate cell carcinoma, lymphoepithelial carcinoma, anaplastic, clear cell, lymphoepithelial, and spindle cell. So again, what is the finding on the biopsy? What are the type of cells present on biopsy, or what are the pathological findings present? All that is used to classify or differentiate these tumors, carcinomas. Then the spread of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma, where it spread and what are the effects of that spread and extension. So if we go one by one, if it spread to foramen lacerum and foramen ovale, then it causes ophthalmia symptom. Ophthalmic means the eye symptoms, which include the involvement of cranial nerve 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this extension of the carcinoma to foramen lacerum and then ovale, it causes the ophthalmic features and the facial pain, and it causes involvement of cranial nerve 3, 4, 5, and 6. If it spread to the eustachian tube, there is serous otitis media. There is inflammation or infection of the middle ear if it affects the eustachian tube. If it spreads to the nose and the orbit, it causes nasal obstruction, epistaxis, and proptosis. If it is metastasized to the distant sites, then we have secondaries, lung, liver, bone. So different distant metastases can involve the lung, liver, and the bone. If it spreads to the cervical nodes, lymph nodes in the neck, it is the upper jugular and posterior triangle node enlargement can occur. If to the retropharyngeal nodes, there is neck pain and stiffness, and parapharyngeal spaces, then we have the pterygoid muscle and trismus can occur, and also it causes cranial nerve palsies, involvement of the 9, 10, 11, and 12th cranial nerve, and leads to Horner syndrome. So very, very extensive effects of these of the spread of the nasopharyngeal cancer or carcinoma, and again depend on where the spread occurs to, and then the what are the signs and symptoms produced depend on the site of the involvement or site of the spread of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma. If it spread to the nose or the orbit, if it spreads to the lymph nodes, that enlargement of the lymph nodes takes place. If Eustachian tube, there is involvement of the middle ear and serous otitis media. So this is a very, very good diagrammatic presentation of the spread of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma and what are the presentations of the spread of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma. So this was all about the section 2, in which we talk about specifically about the nasopharyngeal carcinoma. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.